going on, y'all? So today's guest, we actually have what they call a sneakerhead. So this guy, man, has just a wall full of sneakers, and he talks about them on his YouTube page. His YouTube page is KICKnology. And dude, it was such a great conversation. We talked about NBA, we talked about sports, we talked about faith, and we talked about, of course, shoes. And one thing I love about him, man, is just, he uses his platform to share his faith. And that's what he calls it. He calls the shoes a bait to share his faith. And I love that. And I just wanted to know more about it. So we had a great conversation, and I hope y'all enjoyed too. So here he is, man. This is KICKnology. It's my foundation. It's my faith. It's my work ethic. It's my drive. It's everything that I've tried to build for myself that has made me who I am.
I'll do what it takes to make you believe.
It all started as like a nutrition thing because my background is like I was a personal trainer. I'm very big into like supplements and nutrition and stuff like that. So it started off like that. But then I was like, dude, I like so many other things, so I just want to talk to different people. I get interested in what different people do and what they're about, like what they believe in, and just different things like that. So, I've had people that were addicted to drugs and stuff. I've had gym teachers. I've had, all across the different kinds of things, man. And it's just interesting and it's fun to do.
I actually have a twin brother. He's a personal trainer in Nashville. He's opening up his second gym.
Oh, wow.
And he was saying the same thing like you were saying, dude. Whenever you're doing that one-on-one, you get to know a lot of people. You get to know a lot about them. And then just the mental, everybody think it's physical, but also the mental aspect it takes to drive your body to change is very, very tough, man. And, that's what a personal trainers can help you at. I mean, anybody can show you how to pick up a weight, but it's to motivate you and encourage you to keep pushing through that to get to that next exercise or the next rep. So I salute you guys, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a tough gig. Like right now, I kind of, I'm more focused on athletes. So I train 2 MMA fighters.
Yeah.
So one is new to it. She's never fought before. And the other one is actually trying to make her pro debut. She's 4-0 amateur.
Wow.
So we're working on that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So how's this this whole pandemic? How's it treating you?
I manage a Walgreens, so it hasn't changed for me much. We have been considered essential since day one, since this whole pandemic happened. So it really hasn't affected me. I mean, some adjustments for work. Thank God my store hasn't had any cases or anything like that, but so far, it's been the same thing for me. My kids are sitting at home. I have a son and a daughter. My son is 10. My daughter is 8. They're both at home. So me and my wife just balance, how to take care of them and also to do the homeschooling here. We'll see what the new year brings, man. But my daughter, she already wants to go back. Like, she wants to see her friends. She wants to hug people and talk to people. She's like, I hate COVID. I was like, well, baby, I don't think anybody like it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things, man. But yeah, it hasn't been that different for my line of work.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same with me. I do security at a bank, so they consider me essential, and they actually did a lot of not layoffs, but they kind of made people do the same position in a different state. You know what I mean? So they were moving people from my site to like Pennsylvania and Baltimore and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm not going there. At the beginning of pandemic, those are the 2 worst places, And at the beginning, I was taking it very serious, because no one knew anything about it. But I think this point in time, I'm not, I'm always cautious, you know what I mean? But I also want to live my life. I also want to, be able to do things and do what I need to get done.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. it's funny because it seems like everything was considered essential here in Florida. I'm in Florida where the governor is like lenient on everything,
Right. Yeah.
and it seems like everything was essential: beer, wine, cigarettes. So
Oh
if you worked for
yeah.
any Coca-Cola was essential. They were still open, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, is this stuff really essential? But it is what it is. But I do agree with you. It's gonna get to a point where we're all gonna have to just say, you know what, let me do. It seems like the our hygiene is gonna have to be a little bit more focused for the rest of our lives. We got away from washing our hands and stuff like that.
Mm.
Let's just take care of ourselves. Be more cautious of personal space, giving people their actual personal space, covering our mouths when we sneeze and stuff like that, which is etiquette that we should have been doing for years, but we just kind of really got away from it. So, um, yeah, man, it's been different, man. I have a huge take on the whole pandemic thing. Like I just feel like that the Lord is really trying to tell us, sit down, stay home with your family, spend time with your family.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like the first time in our lives where um, fast food was at an all-time low because we were actually at home eating with our family. We
Mm-hmm.
were we were home with our kids. We had to sit across the table and actually talk to one another. And I feel like that was God's way of saying, you know what, spend some time with one another. We kind of gotten away with social media and everything that's going on in our lives to just kind of be disconnected. Just shoot a text, hey, how you doing? Where's that that personal relationship that we have with people? So um, you gotta find a good in everything bad, man. You gotta try to find it.
Oh, exactly. And another thing, like I feel like it teaches people to appreciate what they have. I
Mm-hmm.
think the hustle and bustle of life, kind of gets in the way of like remembering like the little things. Like when I pull up in my driveway every single day, I'm like, I have my own house. Like I can come home and I'm in a safe place and all these different types of things. Like just the little things. Be appreciative of the little things that you have and just remember like how blessed you are. And I know a lot of people aren't in that situation, and those are the people like I really feel bad for. I hate that there's people stuck in this situation in a bad spot, and they're dealing with something where
Mm-hmm.
whether it be like suicidal thoughts or domestic abuse or just things like that, man, it just sucks to for people to have to be, stuck in that. But
Yeah, you see people in those situations, and I myself used to be one of those people where I would see, maybe somebody on the side of the road, and I'm like, how did they end up in that type of situation? Like, how did
mm-hmm,
it get that bad? Um, but then, going through a pandemic when you lose your job and you can't find work, and you start to realize, certain situations in life can cause those. It's just a domino effect. It can cause those things to happen.
mm-hmm,
So it's not my place to determine how that person got there. My daughter has really, pierced my heart a lot because every time we go by somebody, she's like, "We need to keep something in the car to give to him. We need to give him something. We need to give him something." So it's reminded me about the compassion that the Lord has for me. My daughter has shown me through the love that she has for people that she sees that need. So it's just kind of it's been an eye-opening experience. I've been through this pandemic. I've really been trying to use my platform and just figure out a way how I can impact people and just bring the good and positivity out of it. At times it's frustrating, especially being a leader of a store where I have team members that they're dependent on this job, but hours are cut and stuff like that. So how can you encourage these people not to, to continue to come to work in a pandemic?
mm-hmm.
Everybody's lifestyle is just a little bit different, man. Like I said, I just feel like the Lord is just trying to show us be more compassionate, be there for one another, but stay home. Take a time out, you know what I'm saying? Reflect, lean on me. Hey, I'm here, talk to me and let me get you through this. And hopefully a lot of us are taking heed to that.
So since you're in Florida, I saw that they're be going to phase three. You know what I mean? So, and I saw a lot of people were freaking out about that and mad about that. Like, how are the people that that you're close with? How are they dealing with that?
Man, dude, we were talking about this yesterday. There's so many different phases. Like, and I'm on the phone and conference calls with the CDC all the time because of my job. I don't know what phase. I don't know what's happening. I don't even know what phase three really means. All I know is that we're gonna continue to follow the guidelines, the mask wearing, the social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna continue to check the temperatures. I truly believe that even the CDC still don't even know how to put a grip or a hold on what's going on. So,
Right.
in my mind frame, the way I think, if I don't know what something is and no one else does, whatever they tell me that I need to be doing, I'm gonna do to my full extent. All this hypothetical stuff, you could try this, you could try it, you could try this. No, these are the things that they've been saying from day one. I'm gonna stick to these things, make sure I do them, and keep it moving. So far so good. But like I think Florida to the point now, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, it really doesn't affect us much.
Yeah.
Our mind frame, because dude, literally, malls are open, beaches are open, everything is pretty much open here. So people are just excited about being out. You talked about the mental aspect of things. Some people just have been stuck in the house for so long, they just want to be out, man. So they're willing to take the chance to go to the restaurant and be out. But and then you got small businesses that need to be open. Like
Mm-hmm.
they can't support their family, they need the money. So it's just a totally bad situation from every aspect you can think of. So
Right.
I don't know.
What's up, everyone? Just want to take a quick second to tell you about Strong Tower Nutrition. Strong Tower Nutrition is my health supplement brand, and the website is stnutrition.com. So if you're looking for a new kind of supplement to use, if you're looking for something to help your muscles recover, you're looking for a meal replacement just to get through the day, and because you don't have time to eat, maybe you're on the run or you're on the go and you need something quick. You need something to replace your meal. You need a protein shake. And I got something for you right here, ISO 100. So on stnutrition.com, you can get your ISO 100 on there. We have Cocoa Pebbles and we have Fruity Pebbles. Most of the most delicious flavors I've ever had for a protein shake. And I'm bringing it to you, and you're able to get 10% off because you're listening to this podcast. And that's the only people, I'm only giving it to y'all. So 10% off, go to stnutrition.com and type in strong, STRONG, and then you'll get 10% off your purchase and enjoy the tasty flavors of ISO 100. So let's get back to the show. So with all this time, like since you don't really have still the free time like other people do, like you still work, you still got to deal with your kids are at home and school and stuff like that. Where do you find the time to grow a YouTube channel?
So it's tough, but I try to plan out my days and my weeks. I got a whole wife and a whole family, so I mean, I do have to make time for them in work, and trying to be a content creator is tough at times. But just planning things out. My platform, I've always used it to bring glory to God. You see all the shoes that's behind me, but that's kind of what I do to let people know. It's kind of like my bait. They say we're supposed to be fishermen. So you got to have some type of bait, and thank God that people are into sneakers, and they will click on a thumbnail if they see a sneaker. They will want to talk to you if you're talking about a certain Jordan or Yeezy or whatever the shoe may be. And it gives me an opportunity to literally talk to people about God and how God has blessed me. Not so much blessed me to be able to have these shoes, but my story, my testimony, how you can turn anything that you have, any passion that you have, any drive that you have, to bring positivity out of it. I mean, of course, we all want to make money. Of course, we all want to have something in life, that physical part. But what impact and what can you leave someone with that as they walk away from my YouTube channel, they can say, wow, man, I feel a little bit better about myself. Or most importantly, maybe I should open up my Bible and find out who this God is that Jeremy keeps talking about. Like, I really want to know, how is it that he can make 600 plus videos and he's constantly talking about the Lord? Like, why? Like, why? How does that even connect with sneakers? So, just putting that bet out there. But but finding the time, I've been doing this for going on 6 years now. So it's kind of just like a part of my life now. It's been on and off, but my last 2 years, I've really been consistent with it. Every Tuesday, I do an episode called True Tuesday where I bring the Word of God, and every Sunday I do the Word in Days, where I pick one of my Jordans and I kind of connect it with a scripture and just a message about God on that. So the thing is, once you have those two, I can consistently pump those out because it's expectation. Like people look for it, they know to get it from me. So I don't want to disappoint anyone when I miss those. So more consistent with those than my sneaker videos
Right.
because those are planned. Those are part of my agenda for my channel. But it's fun, man. It's fun. I meet a lot of people. Um, I'm able to connect with a lot of people, and it's also you gotta think about all the youngsters that watch YouTube, and they're on there because they don't want to get bullied at school because they don't have on the freshest kicks or the newest exclusive shoes. So a lot of people don't understand that these shoes are literally a scapegoat for some of these kids that go to school. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's popularity for them. But, me being able to connect with them can let them understand, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter what they say about you. It's about what the Lord thinks. And the Lord doesn't care what shoes you have on your feet. You
Right.
know what? If he bless you with these shoes, all right, that's fine. But he doesn't care about that. What can you do when you walk what shoes are you really walking in? So it's fun. It's very hard to be creative to think about this stuff and connect it with shoes, to be honest with you, because I'm running out of shoes, man. So I'm literally running out of shoes. But the Lord has provided, every time He uses me. So it's been fun, man. I'm loving it.
So did your channel start kind of as a bait to share your faith, or did it just start with shoes first, and then you kind of moved on with it?
It started with the bait to share my faith. I actually had a business partner at the time. We was creating shirts and stuff like that. We were doing events for like the youth, all that good stuff. It was more teenager, more, 16 to 18 driven, somewhere in there, maybe 14 to 18 driven. We were going to school speaking to the youth. So yeah, it all started with the intent for it to be a platform to encourage and uplift the youth to, stay in school, be positive for those single parent kids, for them for us to have the opportunity to not so much be their parent, but give them some guidance, because it's a lot of, let's keep it real. It's a lot of people that shouldn't be on social media telling people what to do. They're not telling them the right things to do. They're just literally telling them this is what success looks like. It's really not what true success is. So it did start with that, and then about I'm gonna say like 2.5 years into it, me and my business partner, we decided to split ways with it. So I kind of left it for a little while, and then I came back to it, and it's still been the same purpose, same message, just a little bit different. Where I threw a couple of more segments in the weekly agenda where I'm really talking about the Lord, because I felt like I wasn't giving Him enough justice. If I'm saying this is my purpose, if I'm saying I'm a spiritual, motivational, encouragement on YouTube, I felt like I wasn't living up to that standard. So I took like a year off, prayed about it, thought about some different ways that I can bring more content. Basically, if people were to look at my channel, like what would they get out of it? So I went back and I watched all 165 videos that I had, and I'm like, okay, I'm not getting that message from this page. Like I'm getting like just another sneakerhead, like another guy that buy out of shoes. So it was back to the drawing board, changed up some things, and the rest is history, man. We are growing. And the good thing about it is, man, you see people that get frustrated with being a content creator because they see
Mm.
people at 5,000 views, 50 million subscribers, and stuff like that. And what we got to realize is everybody is a content creator now. Whether they makeup, shoes, cards, comic books, how-to tutorials on how to fix your car. I go to YouTube every time I want to fix my car, literally, and I watch it. So anybody can be a content creator. So I always tell everybody, before you even think about creating a YouTube channel, find out what is your purpose. When somebody goes to your page, what do you want them to leave with? Do you want them to leave with, oh, every time a Yeezy drop, this person is going to give me all the information? Then make sure that your page is saying that. If you want them to know that you know about the Lord and you want them to be encouraged about the Lord, let them know that, because those are going to be the subscribers that want to come back and watch your content. Give them.
Mm.
I'm gonna go watch the people that I want to. That's gonna be talking about the things I want to talk about. So I don't shy behind it. This is what my channel is about: shoes and the Lord. If you want to subscribe to it, you're gonna hear about shoes in the Lord. So if you thumb down, if you give my video thumbs down and you my subscriber, then you already knew what it was about. So you probably shouldn't be on my page, you know. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but it's
Right.
I always tell people to be transparent when you're creating this when you're creating a YouTube page. Some people do the whole clickbait thing. The titles are not accurate. The thumbnails are not accurate, and then you get on the page and it's like this has nothing to do with what I thought it was gonna be. Be authentic, man. Be authentic. That's how you get genuine followers and supporters.
Oh yeah. I mean, I completely agree, and I feel the same way. Like, uh, doing podcasts, man. Everyone and their mom has a podcast now. You know what I mean? So when I came into it, I was like, okay, man, let's do this for fun. Like, I don't worry about how many subscribers you have. Don't worry about how many views you have, or whatever. So I rarely pay attention to the numbers. Like, sometimes I'll see the YouTube numbers just because I'm on YouTube all the time. But like the listens on like, because I stream on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher also. So I have no idea who actually listens to it. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to bring different people's perspectives of different things, and sometimes, we live in I live in a small state in Delaware, so other people will like stumble on it and they'll be like, oh, that's my boy, or that's my girl, or something like that. And like one time in the mall, someone's like, hey, that's the podcast guy. And I was like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? So I thought that was one of the cool things, starting out. And I didn't think I'd be going this long because I thought I'd just get tired of it. But I just keep enjoying it more and more, and I try and just get better like every single time.
All right, so yeah, I was listening to what you were saying about the looking at the numbers and stuff like that. Man, when I first started doing this, I was looking at the numbers, and you talking about discouraging. Dude, I would make a video, and I swear I would think that video was gonna get 1,000 views or 50 million views. It would get 5, and it would be like 3 weeks, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yep.
But the good thing about it is that now if I go back and look at those videos, those same videos are 5,000-6,000 views because you can go back at any time and view this content.
Right.
And I think that's what people need to keep in mind when you're creating content, is that it's permanent. Like literally, even if it doesn't get the views right now, later on down the line, you can look back and that video can get a lot of views. So it's an encouragement, man. Like even myself, I go back and watch some of my videos from 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm like, I needed to hear that message. Like I needed to hear it. So I'm teaching myself, I'm reminding myself, and it's a blessing, man. Social media can be, it's one of those things. It's killed our society, and at the same time, it can uplift our society too. It's like a double-edged sword with it. So it's very unique. But your podcast, I love the concept because, like you said, so many different people to be able to bring so many different people, different colors, different sizes, different backgrounds, different professions together, and get them to open up. That takes a special type of individual. So salute to you to be able to make people comfortable enough to share themselves with you, because that's huge, man.
Yeah,
That's
man,
huge.
appreciate that. So what got you into shoes in the first place?
My older brother, back in let's see, it was probably 1993 or 4. It was the man, I wish I was in my room now. I would show you the shoe, but it was the Jordan 13, the cherry red 13s. He had them, and I wanted them so bad, and wasn't able to get them, but I was able to get the bread 13s. And I was trying out for the basketball team, and we swapped shoes, and I didn't want to put these, even though they're basketball sneakers, I didn't want to put these on the hardwood floor. I just wanted to wear these around campus,
Yeah.
So had those shoes, and somebody stole them from the locker room when I was trying out for basketball, and it kind of just got me away from it. But then when I got a little bit older, started making my own money, I started looking through some things. I'm like, okay, I want to get these shoes back. So I started collecting again. It's been on and off based on, of course, like financial situations in your life. Because
Mm.
now sneakers are expensive, bro. Like anybody that's gonna watch this or hear this, and you think getting into the sneaker game is easy, it's expensive. Shoes that used to 189, $90 now, back in the day. I'm 36, so I've lived a little bit. So people that remember those days, shoes are cheaper. Now they're like $190 just retail. And then thinking about the aftermarket price that people pay for it, you looking 300 to $1,300 people will
Mm-hmm.
pay for a sneaker,
Yeah.
to literally wear it, to literally wear the shoe. And I'm just like, it's crazy. So it's very tough. I always tell people, do not get into the sneaker game unless you can financially afford it, because I've seen it destroy people.
Mm.
And you can't bounce back from it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard because they make so many shoes.
Right. Right.
Every week is a sneaker drop. Every day it's a sneaker drop. And with the pandemic, it's made it worse. So every single day they're dropping shoes because everything is online. And they know people are itching to buy something. And Nike and Jordan and Adidas, they all got to reach their quotas from, the pandemic also. The end of the year is coming. The fiscal year is almost over with. So they're pushing out sneakers. So my wife told me yesterday, she's like, stop looking at shoes. 'Cause I got to stop looking at them, because I'm like, wow, they came back out with this. They came back out with that. But
Yeah.
I literally had to tell myself, if it's not a need, which I don't think any other sneakers are, are actually a need. But if it's not an extreme want, I got to stay away from it. But just the love for the shoe, man. Like I said, sneakers are for some people. It's the reason why they're not getting made fun of at school. It means something to them to be able to put on a shoe, and for people to point at the shoe and be like, wow, you got that. That means everything to them. It's a confidence booster. For some people, when they put on a sneaker, it's like putting makeup on for women. They feel like that they are a
Oh yeah.
totally different person. Their confidence is through the roof. You can't tell them nothing about themselves, and it's just one of those things. But on the other end of those things, whenever they take them off, it's a demoralizing effect for them also, because they have so much confidence built in those shoes instead of themselves. So that's where I come in and be like, oh, bro, the shoes, you make the shoes. You do understand that. Nobody walks the same. We can all put on the same Jordan 1. You're going to walk in them differently than I'm going to walk in them. We make the sneaker. The sneaker doesn't make us, but people don't get that, man. And that's where my channel and my page comes in. So it's fun.
Yeah, man. I remember my first like real nice shoe, because I was playing basketball. I think I was in middle school. I remember playing basketball and my shoes were just beat up. I was sliding all over the floor and stuff like that. My mom was like, "We need to get you some new shoes, right?" So we finally got some. There were the the Iverson fives. I think they're the fives, and
The question or the answers?
the
Probably was
answer, the answer,
Five.
yeah. And so those were my first pair. They were like the black with the silver on the top, the gray on the top.
Uh-huh.
And ooh, I felt so good in those. You know what I mean? Like the same with you. Like I didn't want to play in them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, I don't even want to like mess these up. But then I ended up doing that, and then I was like, I begged my mom to get a different pair for school, because I was like, I don't want to wear these to school. You know, I just want to play basketball in them.
Yeah.
So I got the same shoe but all white, which was a dumb idea. Because then I didn't even want to wear them, because I didn't want to crease them. I didn't want to get them dirty. And I was like, why did I do that? You know what I mean? So then after that, my shoe thing kind of just stopped after that. But again, it gave me that confidence. It gave people noticed me that never even noticed me before.
Yep.
Like, oh, Ben, look at your shoes. I was like, I know, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm in the building. It's me. It's funny. Out of all my shoes that I have, I literally have one pair of all white or majority white sneakers. Like, dude, I can't do it.
I know it's
Like,
hard.
one of my pet peeves when it comes to shoes is, when you're wearing socks with shoes and they have those little lint balls in the
Yeah,
sock line.
yeah,
I hate that. And every time I get an all white shoe, or it could be a shoe that I really, really want, if I look in the sock liner and it's all white, I won't get it, because it's like literally, I don't know. It's just it's a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker. So I mean, all white shoes are very hard to keep clean. Back in the day, all white Air Force
Mhm.
Ones were my thing, man.
Oh, mine too, yeah.
Sports stuff. one scuff, and I'm like, I don't want to wear this
I know.
shoe. So I stopped buying them.
I know. I had a lot of a pair of like Air Force Ones and things like that, you know. But then I got
Yeah.
older and I just started not to care about shoes anymore. Like right now, I just wear like Converse. I wear like the Chuck Taylors
Yeah.
and just some regular like Nike Air Max for casual wear, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
You know, one of the things, man, like I sit back and I see a lot of people, they're like, man, you don't wear your shoes. You only have 2 feet. Why would you need that many pairs of shoes? Like, what's the point in it? And I'll keep it 100% with you. And a lot of sneakerheads probably wouldn't admit this. It's sometimes that I battle with, okay, am I doing too much? Like, am I putting too much attention on a materialistic thing? Is it gluttony? Am I hoarding? Like what is the purpose behind it? I have to put myself in a spot where I have to take myself away from it because I'm like, okay, it means more to me to get this sneaker than it does for me to be with my family, because I would rather stand in the line for 4 hours when my wife and my kids are at home and I can be home with them. I feel like we need to find a balance. It's okay to have a collection, stamp collection, sock collection, fanny pack, whatever it is. We all have things that we like to collect to do. Funko Pops. I've started collecting Funko Pops about probably like a year now. I love Pop Funko. I do, but it's like when it becomes like I'm in a Bible study every week with some guys, and we're talking about like what is that fine line that determines, okay, this is too much. We need to scale back and put our attention back on the Lord. Okay, I'm spending 40, 50 hours a week trying to get a sneaker, but I gave the Lord literally 10 minutes this week. That's what I gave him. But then the night of the release, I'm like, oh God, please, God, please let me get this shoe. It's like, okay, like, and it doesn't make any sense. So I feel like just like any other thing that you do, makeup, sneakers, whatever it is, you have to find a balance and understand that you're not gonna get every sneaker. And when you miss out on the shoe, it's okay. When somebody else get the shoe that you want, stop being jealous, stop being envious. Like that's when you need to step back and say, okay, this means way too much for me, because I know some people that their whole sneaker collections were stolen. Somebody broke into their house, stole them all, or their house burnt down, entire sneaker collection gone. 2 years ago, we were going through the hurricanes here, and I had to evacuate my house. I took 2 pairs of shoes with me. The 2 that I really wanted, I took those with me. And my wife was like, "What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "I don't know. If they swim somewhere and they end up, somebody's gonna have a nice collection wherever they end up
right.
But I can't. Like, what was I supposed to do? Go grab a U-Haul, put all my 100+ sneakers in a U-Haul and take them with me? It's just not like it's not that important. It's a hobby, it's a habit. It's fun, it's entertaining, but like, where's your focus? What is your purpose in this? Why are you doing this? And if it's just to collect a sneaker, then I do feel sorry for sneakerheads that's like that, because the disappointment that can go along with this could be very demoralizing for an individual. It's easy to get in front of the camera and act like everything's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this shit, it's fun. And then you turn off that camera. If that's what you're living for, it's sad, man. That's really sad. So
I know, man. I mean, it's crazy because I know a couple guys, and you don't really see what they do behind the scenes, or you don't hear about what they do behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see the pictures of the new shoes they got. I'm like, I'll just sit there and think, like, I wonder what they did to get those. Like, how long they waited, or how long like they sat on their phone for. You know what I mean? And it could be like that with anything that people do. You know what I mean? Again, it's like, how much time are you really putting into that, and then how much time are you giving to God?
Yeah.
Like, which is funny because I never even thought about that. Because as you're saying, I'm sitting here reflecting on, wait, how much time did I give to God this week? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh man.
like
But
I said, it's with anything that you do. It's not just sneakers. It's anything. Working out. Hey, I really care about my physique. I want to look different. We set ourselves these goals, to where in 30, 90 days we take the before and after picture, and we're all gung ho about this. which is perfectly fine. You know, God created our bodies. We should take care of it. We should want them to be the best that they can be, of course, by all means. But where's your mind? Where are you at mentally? Because that, like we talked about at the beginning of this, that can be completely demoralizing to someone if all they do is work out, and then a month goes by and they don't see the results that they thought.
Mm-hmm.
That can completely kill someone's psyche. I know a couple of people that's hardcore up into working out, and I've never seen people change their bodies as much as they change their bodies.
Mm.
What I mean, not plastic surgery, but what I'm saying is they adjust their diets, and literally they do shows, and in 2 months they can look completely different. I'm like, wow, how can you do that, bro? Like, I knew one dude that was eating baby food for like a month getting ready
Yeah.
for a show because he
Yep.
wanted his body just to be completely ripped. And I'm like, dude, he was so stressed out when I worked with him because he was eating no carbs and like,
That's how it gets,
like
man.
trying to give trying to give customer service like that, bro. It was. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have to write you up, bro.
Yeah.
You need to eat some carbs. Here, eat this. It was kind of like those Snicker commercials. Here, bro, have a Snickers bar because I don't know who you are right now. But anything that you do, you still gotta find. I feel like my saying is that anything that God has blessed you with to be passionate about. You always got to end the day and start the day. That passion, if you're fortunate enough to be a personal trainer, if you're fortunate enough to be a YouTube or content creator, whatever it is, start your day thanking God for that. Thanking God for that.
Mm-hmm.
End your day
Yep.
thanking God for another day for you to be able to do that. Start in. I feel like that you're giving God the glory, the recognition, and also if you're starting your day, thanking God, asking God for that guidance, He's gonna put you in the right spots for you to be successful and for your platform to be used to glorify Him. My concern and my passion and my heart goes out to those people that don't know who the Lord is and they're just out here doing this stuff. Because I can only imagine if I didn't have the relationship that I have with God, how being in the sneaker community, you want to be that person that you want everybody to like your shoes. You know, that's not all that attention is not always good for a man who's married and
Mm.
trying to do the right thing. And that owns a business. And, you know, maybe I don't have enough money to afford a shoe this month. You know, because of my relationship with God, I don't think about, you know, oh, maybe I can just grab this money to get this shoe because it costs a little bit more. You know, none of those things cross my mind because I know the Lord is gonna provide, and if it's a sneaker that I'm blessed enough to get, I'll get it. And if not, hey, so be it. Move on. Congratulate the next person. But it's literally people out there that don't have a bigger purpose than their purpose that they think they have in life. And without God, you end up making some dumb decisions sometimes to make sure you keep that status of a sneakerhead or whatever it is that you have. And it's sad, man. It's very sad, but you know.
Do you ever get like any questions or like anything on Instagram, like any of your followers or your subscribers or anyone like come that you like ask you questions about your faith at all?
Yeah, all the time. I've had people share with me that they were thinking about committing suicide until they was on YouTube and they see my video. Um, I've had people tell me that they're battling with sexuality. They're battling with drug addictions. And also I've just had people that just hit me up and say, "Hey, why? You've never seen this guy that you talk about. Why?" You
Mm.
know. So all those questions. I've had people hit me up and literally tell me, you know, you like I basically I'm not leading the right example. It seems like I'm bragging about the shoes that I have, and then I'm justifying it with God. It's wrong. So you know, when you put yourself out there, you're gonna always get that.
Right.
Well, no matter whether it's good or bad, you're gonna always get those things. So one thing about me, man, is that I don't care about the subs.
Mm.
I don't care about the views. I care about those one or two messages that people send me that said, you know what, this I needed to hear this. I needed to hear this message. That means the absolute world to me because I've been in positions where I was searching for somebody to tell me something, help me out in a situation. I didn't need the financial, I didn't need the shoes, I didn't need the meal prep, I didn't need that. I needed somebody to tell me that it was gonna be okay. And my pride was too much for me to physically ask somebody to tell me it's gonna be okay, or for me to reach out and say I'm struggling with this or I'm going through this. So I just needed to hear it. So for me to hear people say that, it's like me having a million subs, because I feel like that my video served the purpose. But I also have to tell myself and remind myself, Jeremy, when you don't hear that, doesn't mean that it's not happening. Keep
Hmm.
pushing out the content. Keep pushing out the content, because sometimes we want that gratification, and it's not for me, it's for the Lord. And He knows when the videos and what they're doing. He's putting them in people's spots and on their desktops and on their ads, and you should watch the suggested video. He's doing all that work. He doesn't have to come back and tell me, hey, by the way, this guy, I let him see your video. He said it was good. Pat yourself on the back. Like he don't need to do that for me. I need to understand that. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I have to remind myself. But um, yeah, man, I get all kinds of DMs. I get all kinds of messages. I address every single one, even if it's negative. Thank you for watching. God bless. Even if it's something small like that, I'm not gonna go back and forth and argue with you about anything, because the thing about videos, you choose to click on them. You choose to
Yep.
comment on them. If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to watch it. So I'm not gonna go back and forth and argue with you. I feel like the word is something that you don't argue with people about. Now, sports, I will argue with you all day and debate with you about that all day. But the word of God, I'm not gonna argue with you about it. I'm just gonna tell you what it is. God gotta pierce your heart when it's time for Him to pierce your heart. So,
Yeah, man. So speaking of sports, what are you thinking of this Lakers Heat series?
so I've been a Lakers fan all my life. I love Kobe. Kobe's my favorite basketball player. Even if he would have went to the Celtics or the 76ers or the Bulls, like he was thinking about going in 2014, I would have still been okay with it. I would have been a Lakers fan, but I still would have been a Kobe fan. But
Right.
I think that so I do a sports live every Monday night on my YouTube, and about a year and a half ago on my Facebook, I put in 2021 the Lakers will win the finals. I just had a feeling, but I thought it was gonna be the Lakers and the Celtics. I literally thought it was gonna be Lakers Celtics. Now, I
You're
was this
close, man.
close. I was close, man. But I feel like that the team was just I feel like the team was built for it. LeBron heard a lot of the things that people were saying about him. He's a phenomenal basketball player. Um, I feel like that getting Anthony Davis, he's always been great, but he was kind of like LeBron when LeBron went to Miami. He needed that mentor, leadership, feel more comfortable player
Hmm.
with him for him to be where he's at. So I feel like this is giving AD great experience. He's going to be a monster to deal with for the next couple of years. I do think the Heat will win Game 3. Um, I say the Lakers in 6 just because I want to see some more games.
Right, right.
But at the rate we're going, it looks like the Lakers gonna sweep them.
That's where my thought is. Yeah.
Especially if it's no injuries. I mean, if people don't bounce back from these injuries. But yeah, man, all this bubble talk, people saying that it doesn't count. It's an asterisk. It's a bubble. At the end of the day, the ball gets thrown up, and you still got to go out there and put the ball in the
Right. They still
basket.
have to play the games.
Situations
Yeah.
are different, but they're different for everybody. It's across the board. You could say that about the fans, but we did have a playoff, so don't give me the whole no fan situation in the finals. Now we've been playing with no fans for the last 90 days. So
Hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. A championship is a championship. I do not think. I think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I think LeBron is top three. I put Kobe right behind Michael because I feel like he mimicked his game
Mm.
greatly. But a lot of people saying, "Oh, if LeBron wins this championship, what does that do to his legacy?" I don't think it does much. I think his legacy is solidified, and his place is cemented on Mount Rushmore. There's
Mm.
nothing more he can do. These are just accolades that he's just getting. If you're in the younger generation, you're gonna think LeBron is the greatest player because you didn't grow up watching Jordan.
Right,
If
right.
you are those people I think from the 90s to 2000s was Jordan. From 2000 to 2010 was Kobe, and then from 2010 to now it's been all LeBron.
Hmm.
So I can say that they were all great. They were all goats in their eras, but I still think the torch is still Michael Jordan, man. I can't I'm sorry, I can't take it. I just it's so hard for me to do it, man.
No, man,
So
I
hard for me to
completely
do
agree
it.
with you. I completely agree with you. And which is funny because like I never hear you hear the experts talk and stuff like that. They never put Kobe in the top 3 or top 5. I'm like, how do you not?
No.
That makes no sense to
Yeah.
me. You can't put,
And
and I don't think you can't put LeBron above Kobe.
my argument when people do that is I always ask them, I say, okay, so who's the greatest player of all time? They say Michael Jordan.
Hmm.
I say, okay. But you guys with the same breath to tell me that Kobe mimicked Michael Jordan to a T. Like, I've heard people say that's dang near his clone. Like, literally, down to the celebrations, the post moves, the
Mm-hmm.
aggressiveness on the court, the killer mentality,
The
like
heart,
everything.
the heart,
Five,
yeah. Like,
the five championships, and you mean to tell me that you're gonna put him at number 8? But you said,
mm,
I mean, all right. So let's make him one. Let's make him 1B, and then give LeBron number 2. We can
yeah,
do that.
right, right, right.
I'll appease you. Jordan 1, Kobe 1A, and then LeBron B. Like I'm okay with that. But he's too much like MJ for us to put him at 8. How can we say MJ is the greatest and then put Kobe at 8?
Mm-hmm.
His body of work speaks for itself. I just don't get it. But I don't know. That was a sad day when he died, man. Like, and then with his daughter
Dude,
dying too, that was just like
I
that
didn't,
was
I didn't,
tragic, man.
I didn't believe it, man. And it was the start of all of this. Everything that's been happening this year, that was the
Yep.
start of it.
Yep. When I heard it, and the first place I heard it from, I had just left church, and I'm getting phone calls from. I'm from Arkansas originally, from Arkansas numbers, and I'm like, why is everybody calling me like back to back, back to back, back to back? Because like I said, I've been a Lakers and a Kobe fan for years. So I'm getting all these phone calls, and I'm not answering. I'm like, all right, Sally Mae, you ain't gonna get me today. It's Sunday. You ain't calling me today. so I'm not answering the phone. And then finally I pick up, and one of my friends is like, hey, you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, dude, so you okay with Kobe dying? I'm like, man, whatever. You know, I'm like, this is just Kobe's way or the world star's way of saying, just because you know LeBron passed Kobe the night before
Mm-hmm.
with the points or whatever, and he shook his hand. I'm like, this is just Kobe's way of getting the attention back on himself. I'm like, Kobe would do something like this. You know what I'm saying? He would play around, he would joke around, he would do something. And then I was like, nah, it's for real. So I turned on ESPN, and when I seen it on ESPN and CNN, that's when I turned off my phone, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, this is real. And then when they were saying his whole family was on there at first,
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, this is a lot of people. You know, it's bad enough that it was him and Gigi, because Gigi was a monster, man. I don't know if you watched her play, but that girl could ball.
Yeah,
Like,
they were talking about her
she
being the
ball.
first girl playing in the NBA one day.
Yep, dude. She and Kobe had made. He had said that, you know what, I am not going to go to another Lakers game. He had said that, but because she was getting so much up into the game and she wanted to better understand it, they wasn't going to the Lakers games to actually view the games. He was going there to dissect the game and show her how to play the game of basketball. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the tapes, he's literally looking like he's coaching his daughter, and I'm like, dude, how great is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it was sad. Not even just for them, but for all the other families that were lost. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was sad. I see all these YouTube videos of the videos of the crash and the smoke, and I'm like, dude, just let them rest, man. Stop showing all these videos of and all these conspiracy theories of how it happened and why it happened. Like, why can't we just let stuff go and move on? We got to just drag it out, you know. But like I said, social media and the internet could be bad sometimes, man.
Well, it's because we live in that life where people need to understand why something happened. They need to know all the facts. They need to know, you know what I mean? And they don't accept like, oh, I don't understand why that happened, so I just don't agree with it or I don't accept it. You know, there's things in life where you just don't understand. You're not going to. You know what I mean? Which is what, like, I tell people too, is just like, because also like at work and stuff. At work, I have a friend that's atheist, but he always asks me questions. You know what I mean? And that's what I told him one time. He asked me something, and I was just like, dude, there's things in life, man, you're just not gonna understand. It's unexplainable.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You're right.
no scientist can explain it. I couldn't explain it to you. People that read the Bible all the time can't explain it. Like, it's just something that, we just don't know.
Yep. Yep. Every time somebody tell me they're atheist, I say, "Oh, okay, you're curious." No, I'm atheist. Yeah, you're curious.
Yep.
Because atheists, they're curious. They're trying. They're still searching. They're trying to find.
Right.
They say that they don't believe, but they're curious. Like they'll be those people that would constantly ask questions because they know it's something going on. So they're curious. They're not atheists. They're curious.
Oh yeah, exactly. But back to the Heat and the Heat and the Lakers. I actually had the Heat in 7 games because I thought if they
Against the Lakers?
I thought if they shot the way they did coming up towards the finals, they were shooting the lights out because they have no big dudes, But then after watching that first game, I was like, oh no, I was like, they don't have a shot.
Yeah, you want to know what changed my mind? I said Lakers in 6, and then I started saying Lakers in 5. Was Game 5 against the Celtics?
Okay.
When they put Cantor and Ennis in the game,
Mm-hmm.
I seen how the Heat couldn't deal with the big bodies.
Oh, yeah.
And they broke their zone. I was like, well, the Lakers got 3 bigs, and not only do they actually got 4, and Anthony Davis is a big that can shoot the 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's gonna be a problem for them. Like, so that's when I started to say, okay, you know what? Matchups are gonna be a problem. Jimmy Butler's not a great 3-point shooter, and Hero and the other, what's the other guy?
Dragic
and all them, they can shoot.
Yeah.
But it's just like they're gonna have to exert so much energy on defense guarding these bigs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't see it happening. The only small ball team I can ever see that can beat a big team like that, dude, it's got to be the Warriors because those are lockdown, knockdown shooters, man.
Right.
I don't think you will ever see any front court or back court that can shoot the ball and play small balls like that Warriors team, bro. That is just. That was unfair. When they got KD, that was absolutely unfair. And they would have never lost if it wasn't for injuries. Like Kawhi Raptors wouldn't have won last year if it wasn't for KD and Kawhi getting hurt. They almost KD and Clay. If Clay almost gave them they still almost won the series with the hurt Clay.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you go out there and play who you play against. Can't knock them from getting the championship. They got it. So
yeah, exactly. And it's funny that because everyone was gonna put Kawhi up there like near Michael Jordan, and I was like, I don't know about, you know what I mean? Like he's got championships, but like, look at the coaching and the system. I think he's a very system guy.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Because you got one thing about Kawhi is that he lacks leadership.
Right. Because he's quiet. Yeah.
Great player. But when you play only 50, 60 games a season, and you want your team, you want to build that camaraderie with your team, and you want them to be behind you, it's hard to do that when you're not on the court battling every night with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I understand you say you want to preserve your body, but players like Kyle Lowry was huge for him in Toronto because he had his team behind him. He was the speaker. He was the head front. The Clippers, they had no leadership in their locker room. Their leadership was Pat Beverly, and he's just a clown.
Yeah, he's just loud, right?
Yeah, like no way they were gonna in those situations. They had played 12 games together total. You can't build a championship team and poise with 12 games just because you got those names. The 2004 Lakers tried it, like with Karl Malone and all them. They couldn't do it. Like it always is gonna fail when you have big time players on teams like that. So. I'm enjoying this banner number 17 for my Lakers, man. We need one more to beat the Celtics out for the most banners in the NBA. So I'm enjoying it, man. And then you got to do it for Kobe this year. This is gonna just.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why you see LeBron. Yeah, I mean, that's why you see LeBron with he has a different focus, man.
Yep, never seen him focus like this ever.
Yeah, it's different.
He went to 10 finals and lost game 1 of every finals, bro. Like, this is the first time he's ever had a 2-0 lead on the finals. So,
you could tell it. He's not celebrating. He's focused. But I truly feel like that's because of what happened with Kobe and the promises that he made after Kobe's death. So you kind of have to finish the season out.
Right.
Because Lakers fans will crucify him, literally. Lakers
Yeah, if they
fans will, like, dude, it was already hard enough for us to accept him as a Laker anyway. Because when he came over to Lakers, everybody was like, "Oh, best Laker ever," and I'm like,
what?
he hasn't done anything in a Lakers uniform. And even what he does do in a Lakers uniform is at the tail end of his career, so you can't say he's the best Laker ever. He didn't do all those in Lakers jerseys. Kobe, Magic, Wilt, Kareem, they did all those things in Lakers jerseys. So he's not gonna be in that conversation, that category. But I mean, he will be considered one of the greatest Lakers. But when it comes to what you did in the Lakers jersey, the only thing he really can do is win championships, because his stats are not going to beat any other Lakers players during that tenure as a Laker. So,
right. And then so I'm a Sixers fan. I'm all things Philly.
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers, what do you think?
I like it, man. I feel
Yeah.
like the Clippers made a mistake, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't blame, in my opinion, you can't blame Doc Rivers for what happened. I know everybody say about his history, but you got to remember he did win a championship with the Celtics. Now everybody's saying, "Oh, that's Paul Pierce and everybody else's championship." No, he coached the hell out of that team.
Oh yeah, he sure did.
He coached that team. He's a great coach. I think he's gonna do very good in Philly. I'm just anxious to see what they do with this roster. If they're gonna try to blow up some pieces, or they're gonna keep it together and just let's see what Doc Rivers can do. I don't know what they're gonna do. They should have spent the money and kept JJ Redick.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna blow it up or not. I know whatever they do, I think they're gonna keep it around Embiid and Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And we need shooters. You can't shoot the ball. You know what I mean? And Embiid needs to learn how to be a big man.
Yep. Be a serious big man. He reminds me of Dwight Howard. Always playing, always joking.
Yeah.
We've always criticized Dwight Howard for how dominant he could be and just being aggressive, and he just never did. 2009 when the Lakers beat him in the finals, he was super aggressive. But besides that, man, Joel Embiid he needs to stay away from the 3-point line, that's for sure. And I think Doc Rivers will clear that up. So
yeah, I mean,
so you an AI fan, man?
Oh, dude, he was my favorite player.
Oh man.
Yeah, growing up, yeah.
AI was a monster, man. They about to drop some AI Kobe's. Some Allen Iverson Kobe's. They like some AIs that's yellow and purple.
Oh wow.
I gotta get my hands on. So stay tuned for that.
Oh man.
If I can get them.
I know. I just watched that. I saw that video of the Iverson and Harden had a shoe or whatever. I saw that you had those. I was like, "Ooh, there's not bad looking."
Yeah, they actually are sitting around in stores, man. People didn't buy them. The quality on those shoes are absolutely.
Well, they're also Reebok. People don't really buy Reebok, do they?
Yep, nope, not anymore. Older people like me, we buy Reeboks because we remember Sean Kemp. We remember Shaquille O'Neal. We remember those players back in the late 80s, early 90s that had the Reeboks. But the only thing about those Iversons, those white bottoms, I hate white bottoms on sneakers.
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
As soon as you walk outside,
that's dirty, yeah.
It's dirty. So they put an all-white bottom, and I'm like, wow, you could have put a red, translucent bottom or anything, but they put a white one. But the leather on them is super plush. They executed very well. So shout out to Reebok, man. They've been putting some good quality on their shoes, trying to get people to buy them. People just not buying them.
Yeah, the only reason I think people would know Reebok is because they're a sponsor of the UFC.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would know. But
Adidas actually owns Reebok now. I don't know if you know that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they bought them out. It was about 5-6 years ago. So that's why you seeing these collabs. James Harden is Adidas.
Okay.
That's why you're seeing the collabs now.
Okay. So I like to end these things with just hearing about like your mindset of what you do with your YouTube channel and your motivation of just kind of keeping it going.
Okay. All right. So my YouTube
channel is KICKnology. It's on YouTube. It's on IG. It's on Twitter. What I do with my YouTube is I use my sneakers, my passion for shoes. I've been collecting for years now, and I use that to as a platform, as a way to share the word of God. Of course, I review shoes. I talk about shoes. I tell people how to cop shoes, all those great things. But my main purpose and focus is to encourage everyone to understand that the shoes that we walk in on this earth are not permanent shoes. It doesn't matter if they're Jordans, if they're Yeezys, if they're Adidas, if they're Iversons. It doesn't matter what they are. What matters is what your soul, the soul here, is made of. And the only way we can get that great soul, that good heart, in is by getting to know the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I try to make it entertaining. I try to make it. I went to a Christian university, so I try to make it less classroom teacher type videos, because I feel like a lot of times that pushes people away. And I'm not trying to preach to people, but I want to preach to people. You know what I'm saying? But I want to make it to where it's entertaining and people can relate to it. I'm just a normal guy like anybody else that has a 9 to 5. I'm just trying to show my love for Christ, because he showed his love for me 2,000 years ago when he died for me. So I just want to make sure that whatever I do is reflecting him. The words that I say are biblical. They're in the word. They're not my words. They are actually from what he has spoken, and it is true. So you would never hear me say anything or give anybody any advice or guidance that is not God written. Because and if I don't know the answer, I am not afraid to say, hey, I do not know, but let me get back to you. So anything that you see on my YouTube is going to be 100% from God's word. It's not going to be my personal opinion. So yeah, man, I just check it out. Let me know if you guys like it. I'm always open for feedback. I'm not one of those type of people that be like, hey, you gave me feedback. This is what I think about your feedback. It was trash. No, I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. Why do you say that? So Jeremy, it seemed like you came off this way on your video. Okay, I didn't mean to come off aggressive. I was just passionate about it. You know, that lets me know I need to tweak some of the things that I'm doing. Feedback is always good for the mind, body, and soul. You just have to prepare yourself to be able to take it. So, super fun. I love it. I enjoy it. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it to be able to meet people like you, to be able to do what we're doing right now. I am very long-winded. I will talk for hours, so I'm glad that you are able to wrap this up. But yeah, man. Hey, before we do end it, I just want to tell you I love what you're doing. You have somebody that's going to be reviewing it, that's going to be promoting you. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay away from those views and stuff like that. Your purpose seems to be solid. Stick to your purpose. Of course, we're all going to have times where we get discouraged and all that stuff. Hey, when you do get discouraged, man, go back and watch some of your content. You'll be amazed to see how much that uplifts you and encourage you to keep pushing and keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, man, I feel like I have a new friend. So
Yeah, man, definitely.
if you like to talk sports, you're gonna have to come on my sports live. My next sports live, we got to talk about this Doc Rivers and AI thing. So yeah, man, thank you so much for having me on, man. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, and also I just want to let you know, like, I got Sasha, like, when she recommended you to me, she told me that, like, she really, like, is touched by what you say and what you do and stuff like that. So that's what made me want to, like, look up what you talk about and that kind of thing. So I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a guy I want to talk to and see what he's about. You know what I mean? So you're definitely, like, reaching her. And the same thing with you, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, because, you know, I love it. There's people out there that love it, and, you know, you're touching people. So
yes, sir, I will. Thank you so much, man. That means a lot, man. That's why I do this, like I said, man. So I appreciate the kind words, bro.
all right, man, we'll see you. I appreciate it.